Can your business survive without you? I discovered a way to map exactly where your business depends too much on one person, and I'll show you what it finds and why buyers look for it before they look at anything else. Are you one of the 60% of people who plan on selling their business in the next 3 to 5 years? If so, implementing this one thing with AI could be the difference between being able to sell your business and struggling to find a buyer at all. In this video, I will show you how to reduce key person risk, make the business easier to delegate, and make the business easier to exit for top dollar. I will also share a free interactive assessment that tells you exactly where your biggest risks are. My name is Hayden. I buy businesses for a living. I've bought over 30 businesses, and one of the first things I look for is whether the business can run without the owner holding everything together. This is what we look for as buyers when we decide whether a business feels transferable and safe to acquire. Most owner-led businesses have a lot more key person risk than the owner realizes. Usually, that risk lives in tribal knowledge. It lives in the owner's head, in the operator who knows how to fix the weird customer issue, in the salesperson who knows how to rescue a deal, or in the finance person who knows how the numbers really work. When owners start preparing to sell, one of the first things they often realize is that a big part of making the business sellable is identifying where they are still too involved and documenting and delegating those responsibilities. That is the real work, not paperwork for the sake of paperwork, making the company less dependent on one person. Some people start this process because they think they want to exit, but as they reduce key person risk, document the work, and delegate more effectively, they realize they may not need to sell anymore. Their lifestyle improves. They spend less time in the day-to-day, more time with family, and they stop being the bottleneck. One form of exit is becoming the CEO or the board of your company instead of being the person stuck doing the day-to-day. Now let's talk about buyer fear. Buyers buy confidence. They do not just buy revenue, customers, or profit. They buy the confidence that the business will keep working after the owner steps away. A buyer is afraid of buying a company where the real operating system is the owner's brain. If the decisions, exceptions, and customer relationships live in your head and the processes only work because you are there to hold everything together, the buyer sees risk. Documentation turns invisible risk into visible systems, and visible systems create buyer confidence. That is why this matters if you want a more transferable business, one that a buyer can actually understand. This is what we do as buyers in diligence. We are trying to figure out where the knowledge lives, which processes are documented, who owns each key function, what breaks if the owner steps away, and whether the business has repeatable systems or just heroic people. So when we review a business, we start asking questions like, where does pricing judgment live? Who owns customer handoffs? Who knows how fulfillment really works? Who handles the exceptions? If the owner disappeared for 30 days, what would stop? And this is what you, as the owner, can do preemptively so the business is more attractive to buyers. Do not wait for diligence to expose the weakness. Identify where the business depends too much on you or one key person, then document the process, assign ownership, create backup, and delegate the work. The goal is not to document everything at once. The goal is to reduce the biggest concentration of risk first. If a buyer looked at your company today, what would make them nervous? Start there. This is where most people get documentation backward. They start with the easiest process to write down, cleanest checklist, the thing that already feels obvious. But from a buyer's perspective, the first process to document is the one that creates the most risk. If the seller is the only person who knows how pricing works, document that. If the salesperson is the only person who knows how to rescue a deal, document that. If the fulfillment lead is the only person who can solve the hard customer problems, document that. The process of creating the process is really the process of uploading their brain. This is why documentation affects enterprise value, not because a buyer is excited to read SOPs. A buyer cares because documentation reduces perceived risk. It shows that the business is not completely dependent on one person. It shows preparation. It shows that the knowledge has started moving from individual memory into company capability. That can make the business easier to diligence, easier to trust, and easier to transfer. And when a business feels lower risk, it can attract more interest, more confidence, and potentially stronger offers. Documentation does not guarantee a higher price, but it helps reduce the risk buyers are underwriting. The good news is that this is much faster than it used to be. Historically, process documentation could take months because someone had to interview the team, write everything down, clean it up, and turn it into something usable. Now AI can help with the heavy lift. You can interview the person who holds the knowledge, capture how they think, capture the steps, the exceptions, the decision rules, and the judgment calls. Then AI can help turn that conversation into a first draft of the process. A human still needs to review it. A human still needs to test it. But the brain download is dramatically easier than it used to be. So if you are an owner, here is the exercise. Do not start by asking, do we have enough SOPs? Ask the buyer's question. If this person left, what would break? List the core functions of your business: sales, fulfillment, operations, finance, customer success. Then write down who actually knows how to run each one. If only one person knows how to do a critical process, circle it. That is your documentation priority list. That is why process documentation is not just an ops play. It is a risk reducer. It is a transferability tool. And if you ever want to sell the business, it is an enterprise value play. Run the free key person risk assessment inside the Empower Labs community and use it to identify your highest risk roles and where to start documenting first.